As previously discussed, these are the words of Jason, the reformed fraudster, and in this episode he talks about an old-fashioned form of fraud where people are conned into having work done that isn't really necessary and being massively overcharged for it. Okay, here goes. Most scams these days contain at least one element of online activity or technology. However, an old-fashioned face-to-face scam is making a comeback, especially during the bad weather. There's a guy I know, call him Dave, who does very well out of a roofing scam. He works out of the back of a very nice, shiny pickup truck. He carries a selection of broken tiles, slates. He's dressed in immaculately clean overalls, wears a high-vis jacket, and has a lanyard with some kind of photo ID around his neck. He looks the part, very professional. He will knock on your door and say something like, we're just working around the corner, and when I was up on their roof, I couldn't help but notice that you've got a few slates missing. He's well-spoken, he's polite, and he's not pushy in the least. And he appears to genuinely want to help you. At this point, he produces one of his broken slates and adds, I've just picked this up from your path. It could have killed somebody if it had hit them. The weather changes, you're going to be in big problems, it's going to be rain pouring through your roof. We can sort it now for you for 50 quid cash. Like most people, you know bugger all about roofing, and you admit that the last thing you want to do is to have somebody injured or rain pouring in. You know 50 quid is not a fortune, and it's probably going to cost you more to call somebody out, so you agree to it. You haven't got any cash on you, so you tell Dave you're going to go at the cash point. You do this, and as you drive back into your road, you see an open-topped lorry parked outside your house and 4 big guys perched on your roof throwing tiles off. Dave is really pleased to see you, and before you can ask what's going on, he tells you you're incredibly lucky, as the roof is in a much worse state than he first thought. He points to the rapidly growing pile of slates on the floor and advises you it's a death trap up there and the entire roof needs to be replaced. He reminds you of what you said earlier about stopping anybody getting injured or the risk of rain pouring in, so him and his team have already made a start. That's an understatement. 25% of the roof is now laid completely bare, and if you protest, he will demand you pay him for the work that's already been done, which comes to about £5,000. If you refuse to pay, his character undergoes a complete transformation. The nice guy you met a couple of hours ago has been replaced by his evil twin. He points out the obvious that the tiles can't be refitted because they're now in a pile of bits on your floor. Unless you pay, he promises to leave the roof exactly as it is, which will allow the weather to come in and cause massive damage. He'll leave the broken tiles where they are and then pursue you through the courts for every penny you owe him. On top of that, he'll make sure you get a county court judgment registered against you, which will cause you massive problems anytime you want to take out a credit card, a loan, a mortgage, or anything like that. Dave doesn't stand and shout and scream at you, but he's very intimidating. He stands just a little bit too close to your face. He's no stranger to confrontation. You're trying hard not to panic. Your eyes are filled with tears. Dave couldn't give 2 hoots. He shouts, "Another time waster, everybody down. This is another one for the courts to sort out. Leave it as it is." You are understandably upset, to say the least. And Dave switches back to being more conciliatory. "Look, the work needs doing in any case. We've already made a start, and if I put my whole team on it, we can finish in a couple of days. You're making things much worse if we stop now." You are well out of your depth, and you reluctantly agree. Dave produces what he refers to as his standard contract and asks you to sign at the bottom. You're confused, you're upset, and you sign. Dave's team returns to stripping the roof and covering the void in a big, thick blue tarpaulin. They come back the next day with another 6 guys, and Dave is the only one who talks to you. The rest of them just glare at you. By the end of the day, you've got a brand new roof in place. It's a different colour, and the joint between you and your neighbours looks uneven with gaps, but Dave assures you it's all fully waterproof and carries a 10-year guarantee. Dave then presents you his invoice. The total is £35,000. This includes stripping off the old tiles and replacing them with new ones of supposedly a better quality. In accordance with the fine print on the contract, he's also replaced your old soffits and gutterings because they were rotten too. This adds another £15,000 to the final amount. You put up some kind of token resistance, but argumentative Dave is back. He's now more menacing than ever. He shouts, "They don't want to pay. Your kids are going to have to go hungry." Dave points to the box at the bottom of the contract that says all invoices must be settled within 24 hours of the work being completed. Otherwise, an additional 20% will be added to the amount owed, and gives details of his account. He makes it very clear that he'll be back first thing in the morning unless the money has been transferred. You might be surprised to learn, or not, that about 75% of Dave's customers pay up immediately. He has perfected his lines and the way he can switch from being Mr. Nice Guy to being a crazed lunatic, only just managing to suppress his violent temper. As soon as Dave engages you in conversation, he has won. There is very little, if anything, you can say to ever put him off. My advice is, when Dave or somebody like him knocks on the door, lie to them. Be polite, but say something like, "Thank you very much. My son's a roofer and I'll tell him tonight." Or, "Thank you. I'm just renting. I'll tell the landlord." Either way, do not get into a conversation with him. Reputable roofers are not short of work and they do not go cold calling. They target, the bad guys, target the elderly or those who can be easily bullied or conned, or anybody else who they feel might be an easy target. Some of their targets are also harvested from what's called suckers lists. These are circulated amongst scammers because they're people who've already been victim of scams and might be susceptible to falling victim again. And lastly, if you've got a neighbourhood WhatsApp group going, message your neighbours and tell them not to answer the door either. They will thank you for it. Thank you.